Caitlin Clark didn't just walk into Los Angeles and win a basketball game. She walked into that arena and reminded the entire WNBA why the league changes every single time she steps on the floor. This wasn't some perfect shooting night where every three-pointer dropped and the crowd exploded because she got hot from deep. No, that's what made this performance terrifying. She destroyed the Sparks while shooting badly from outside. Think about that for a second. 24 points, 9 assists, steals, deflections, total command of the offense, absolute control of the pace. And she did all of it while going 1 for 7 from three-point range. That should scare every team in the league because the most dangerous version of Caitlin Clark is not the one raining logo threes. The most dangerous version is the one who can dominate every inch of the floor even when the jumper refuses to cooperate. That's the version Indiana unleashed in Los Angeles, and it looked like the beginning of something massive. From the opening possession, she attacked like she had unfinished business in that building. Every movement had purpose. Every drive carried force. Every pass felt like a warning shot to the rest of the league. 17 of Indiana's first 19 points came directly through her hands. Not because the offense forced the ball to her, but because the game naturally bends around her presence. That's what superstars do. They warp defenses. They create panic. They force opponents into impossible choices. Double her, and she dissects you with passes. Stay home on shooters, and she explodes downhill. Collapse into the paint, and she sprays the ball out to open teammates before defenders can even react. Los Angeles spent the entire night trapped inside that nightmare. Clark looked faster than she has in over a year. Her burst was violent. Her first step had defenders stumbling backward. Every time she turned the corner, the Sparks defense cracked apart like glass under pressure. And the scary part is that she admitted afterward that her outside shot still hasn't fully returned yet. That means this isn't peak Caitlin Clark. This isn't even close. This is a recovering version of Caitlin Clark dismantling professional defenses while still rebuilding parts of her offensive rhythm. That should terrify every coaching staff in the WNBA. Because when the shot finally returns completely, when the legs fully trust themselves again, when the confidence from deep becomes automatic, the league may not have an answer left. What made this performance feel different was the mentality behind it. She wasn't playing like someone cautiously working her way back from injury. She played like someone who had spent months sitting in silence thinking about every criticism, every cheap shot, every debate about whether she could carry a franchise, every conversation questioning whether the injuries had slowed her down. And then she answered all of it without saying a word. That's power. Real power. She didn't need social media posts. She didn't need emotional speeches. She simply took over the game possession by possession until the Sparks realized they were drowning. The most impressive part wasn't even the scoring. It was the control. Great players score. MVPs control reality. Clark dictated the emotional temperature of the game from start to finish. Whenever Los Angeles tried to build momentum, she crushed it instantly. A steal in the passing lane. A drive through traffic. A no-look dime through 3 defenders. A transition push before the defense could breathe. Every answer came from her. Even when the officials swallowed whistles after obvious contact, she kept attacking. Even after the controversial technical foul, she never lost focus. That's what separates stars from legends. Most players let frustration infect their game. Clark turned frustration into fuel. She absorbed contact all night, got hit repeatedly on drives, listened to whistles go silent, and still walked away looking like the best player on the court by a mile. The Sparks had no solution because there is no defensive scheme designed for a player who can dominate without relying on her best weapon. That's what makes this version of Clark different from the rookie everyone first saw enter the league. The rookie version wanted to prove she belonged. This version knows she owns the stage. You could see it in the confidence. You could feel it in the pace she played with. There was no rush, no panic, no forcing bad shots to prove she could score. Instead, she dissected the defense with maturity that usually takes years to develop. She hunted mismatches. She punished rotations. She manipulated defenders with her eyes before delivering passes that broke the entire structure of LA's defense. And every teammate fed off that energy. Kelsey Mitchell exploded because Clark's gravity stretched the defense until the floor looked wide open. Sophie Cunningham found space because defenders were terrified of helping too aggressively on Clark's drives. Monique Billings looked instantly comfortable because Clark put her in positions where success became easy. That's what elite playmakers do. They don't just elevate themselves. They elevate everyone around them. Indiana suddenly looked dangerous in a way they haven't consistently looked before. Not because of one player scoring 50, but because Clark controlled every heartbeat of the offense. And what makes this even more incredible is understanding the mental battle happening behind the scenes. Clark admitted she's still fighting the psychological side of injury recovery. Physically, her body feels stronger. Mentally, there's still caution. There's still hesitation at times. Imagine that. Imagine dropping 24-9 while still not fully trusting your body again. Imagine shredding professional defenders while your mind is still learning how to stop worrying about range injury. That's terrifying upside. Because once that mental barrier disappears completely, once she fully trusts every movement without hesitation, the speed is going to become even more explosive. The aggression is going to become even more relentless. The confidence will become unstoppable. And if this is the version of Clark before that final breakthrough, the league better prepare itself now. Because this performance felt like the beginning of an MVP campaign gaining real momentum. Not fake media hype. Not empty numbers on a losing team. Real MVP basketball. The kind that changes winning. The kind that controls games without needing perfect shooting nights. The kind that forces the entire league to adjust around one player's existence. That's what happened in Los Angeles. And the scariest part of all is that Clark made it look sustainable. Nothing about her dominance felt fluky. The drives were repeatable. The reads were repeatable. The passing brilliance was repeatable. The pace control was repeatable. She wasn't surviving off impossible shots. She was dominating through basketball intelligence, physical aggression, elite vision, and relentless pressure. That's the formula that creates all-time great players. And suddenly Indiana doesn't look like a team hoping to compete someday. They look like a team building around a superstar who is rapidly figuring out how to destroy defenses in every possible way. The rest of the league wanted to believe injuries slowed her down. They wanted to believe physicality could wear her out. They wanted to believe the rookie hype would fade under pressure. Instead, Clark walked into Los Angeles and delivered one brutal message to everyone watching. Even on an off-shooting night, she can still completely own the game. And if she can do that now, imagine what's coming when the jumper finally catches fire again. That's the thought keeping opposing coaches awake. Because basketball history has shown something very dangerous about transcendent players. Once they learn how to dominate without their best weapon, they become almost impossible to stop when that weapon finally returns. That's the stage Caitlin Clark is approaching right now, and the entire WNBA can feel it coming. What made the night feel even bigger was everything happening underneath the surface. This wasn't just about stats. This was about presence, aura, control, fear. The Sparks looked like a team trying to survive a storm instead of compete in a basketball game, because every possession